Hey everybody, it's Grant, and today we are going over the man himself, Dave Ramsey, and his 7 baby steps explained. So here we are in my computer. Please don't forget to power up that like button and hit that subscribe button and notification bell. Let's get into today's video.
So George, 30 years ago when I started teaching this stuff, I was first teaching people how to get out of debt, live on a budget, be generous, live on less than you make. So you have a plan, you avoid debt, you save money for emergencies and later for investing. And all of those principles work, but people kept saying, which one do I do first? And so I started laying out, well, you should do this first and that first. You should have an emergency.
Honestly, this video, whether you love or hate Dave, because of the simple fact that he doesn't like debt, I've told you this in the past, the reason that I react to Dave Ramsey is because you're gonna get 2 pretty valuable opinions. Now, Dave's is way more valuable than mine, but I have coached several people to top performing positions. Here's the thing. No matter what, if Dave doesn't like debt and you like debt, you can still learn something from Dave. This is gonna be a good one. I'm very excited, and I wanna hear him explain his baby steps because I agree with all of them except for no debt.
Fund before you start your 401k. And then I figured out it's easier to have an emergency fund if you don't have any payments. And so you need to get out of debt first. Because, of course, I learned my lesson the hard way, going bankrupt and getting out of debt and learning how important it was to be debt-free.
Here's the thing. You never let yourself get too far into debt. I believe 20% down, and to make sure that you're making good, smart decisions, I also buy all my properties at 80% completely fixed. That is even if it's a little newer. I will always try to make sure I make my money on the deal, and that's because you make money on the buy, not by paying down the mortgage. Stop looking at real estate like that. I'm telling you, there's always a deal coming. I'm looking at a house right now. I'm looking at a complex right now, and people bring me the deals, as well as I go find them. Literally, I was searching the MLS, not the MLS, Zillow. And I was like, oh, I need to go look at this. And now, it's relatively in those spectrums. I might buy it. Maybe we'll have a video on it later. Maybe not. Only if they'll deal. And I think Dave would agree. 20% down with 20% equity, you owe 60%. Pretty smart.
As a process, as a part of building wealth. So all of that started to formulate after a few years of teaching in various settings and what became Financial Peace University. It used to be called Life After Debt. And it started becoming what we now call the baby steps. And the interesting thing is that now the baby steps have gone into the Total Money Makeover book, which has sold almost 10 million copies. And they have become the proven plan, the shortest distance between where you are now and wealth. Where you are, if you'll live like no one else later, you can live and give like no one else. What is the shortest distance? And we need a path to run on because the way you eat an elephant, it's overwhelming. Do I do my 401k with the match or my kid's college? Or do I have an emergency fund? Or do I pay on this 18% credit card debt? Or, and nothing gets done. You get paralysis of the analysis, you get frozen.
Absolutely. And this step...
I think he meant to say one bite at a time, but he missed it.
These baby steps have worked for me. They've worked for millions. And it's really simple. If you do it, they work. And it all starts with baby step 1, having this foundation, saving $1,000 for a starter emergency fund. This is just a small buffer between you and life before we start tackling the debt.
Exactly. And if you have $1,000 already, great, just set that aside. That's your baby step 1. Any money you have that's not retirement, anything you can sell that is not retirement, you're going to liquidate it. If it's not retirement, you got some stock over here that Grandpa left you. You got a gold bar under your bed. I don't know what it is, but you got any money that's above $1,000.
You got a gold bar under your bed, you know. Dave, we need to teach him about investing. I think you meant coin, because an ounce of gold is more than $1,000, Dave. Get with the times. Back in my day, a gold bar was only, I don't know, 200 bucks?
If you got $10,000 in a savings account, that's $9,000 you've got that you don't need past baby step 1. We're going to put it all on baby step 2 And baby step 2 is the famous one. That's the debt snowball, where you list your debts smallest to largest. You pay minimum payments on everything but the little one, and you attack the little one with a vengeance. Side note, baby step 1 should not take you more than 30 days. Maximum. You need to work extra, sell some stuff, have a garage sale, put the kids on Craigslist, whatever you got to do here. Let's get it done. And you know, we're going to get busted into this, get $1,000 quick. Baby step 2, you should be debt-free, but your house, now you may have to sell a stupid boat. You may have to take an extra job. But most people that have followed the Total Money Makeover baby steps in Financial Peace University are...
So basically, his baby steps to help you, because he's kind of going all over the place. So the first one is an emergency fund. Now, he says $1,000 emergency fund. I believe in 3 to 6 months, which is, he does too. But the baby steps are a little different. You need to also go, all right, saving $1,000 makes sense, but I still need to have a 3 to 6 month emergency fund of all expenses. So that way, if something went wrong, like 2020, where the shutdown happened and the illness, you are still okay. Because 6 months in 2020 of saved money, you would have been fine. It still wouldn't have been easy, but you would have been better off than having $1,000 in the bank. Baby step 2 is pay off everything, his debt snowball. And I like it. The little bitty snowball starts rolling downhill, grows into a big, giant snow boulder, and wipes it all out. And it's about getting excited. So basically, in the event that I have, $20,000 in debt, and I have a credit card with a $300 balance on it, and I pay that thing off, I'm like, ooh, I can do this. Then I turn around and I pay my $1,000 credit card off. I'm like, all right, I got to pay this one off. And I pay that one off. I'm like, oh. So now we're at $18,500 in debt, but you don't think about it like that. You keep chopping at the smallest ones out there, and then you owe nothing besides your house, because, that's expensive.
And then we can move on to baby step 3, where we save 3 to 6 months of expenses in a...
Okay. Step 1, save some money. Step 2, pay off some debt. Step 3, emergency fund. Okay. My bad. That's why we're reacting to it. I'll be quiet. I'll just let Dave talk at this point.
Fully funded emergency fund. This is the final buffer where we say we're never going back into debt, because we are the bank now.
Meh.
Grandma's rainy day fund. Why? It's going to rain. Dave, you need to be positive. I'm positive. It's going to rain. You need to be ready when crap happens. There's a pandemic coming around every corner. There's something coming, and if you have $20,000 cash in the bank, 3 to 6 months of expenses, whatever it is, and you have no payments, you are the third pig in the 3 little pigs, the one that's in the brick house when the big bad wolf comes. You're ready for life. You're ready to go. Now you're ready to build wealth. But that you just now have gotten up to ground zero. You've just now gotten up to even. When you have that emergency fund and you're debt free, now you're ready to build wealth. And in baby step 4, you put 15% of your income aside into good growth stock mutual funds in retirement plans. Start where there's a match. Beyond the match, always do Roth. And if you've exhausted Roth and match and still are not to 15%, then go on to a traditional 401k or IRA. But do Roths before traditional and do match before Roths.
And the reason you're going to want to do a Roth first is because after you put that in, that's post-tax money. You pay your taxes, you put it in your Roth. Then it grows tax-free, right? So every dollar you make, it is now tax-free as long as you withdraw it at the age of 59 and a half. There is no penalties. So understand, put it in a Roth, and that money can just snowball. That's invest snowball and grow and grow and grow. And you'd be so surprised. Get a financial calculator on your phone. Get a compound interest calculator on your phone, and then put $200 in a week, $100 in a week, $50 in a week, whatever you can manage, $25 a week. And if you could do that, and you can see how long that's going to pan out over, if you're 30 years old, you could invest until you're 70. If you're 30 years old, you could definitely invest until you're 50. So put 20 years in. It'll end up being quite a bit of money.
It's mathematically in your favor to do that, up to the 15%. Don't do 20%, don't do 11%, do 15%. While you are doing baby steps 4, you're also going to be doing 5 and 6 simultaneously.
Absolutely. So baby step 5 is where we're saving for our children's college fund. And this is going to look different for everyone. There's no set number here because it really depends on your situation.
Did you have the baby last week?
So here's the thing. I don't put as much value in college as Dave does. Dave really doesn't put that much value in college. But the problem is everybody wants to save for their child's college fund. My father says, work, Finish, and I'll write you a check. That was our deal. I didn't finish, never got the check. But I paid my way through college. I had a full-time job selling cars, growing, and it might be the reason I didn't finish college, but why do I need to listen to a professor that makes $65,000 a year? At most, if he is a major style professor, might make 100, right? If they're the dean, they make 110 to 150. Now, the dean of a business, I don't know what the actual dean of a college would make in a small college. I'm not talking about Harvard here. But why do I need to listen to somebody making $65,000 a year to tell me the theory on how to succeed in business? It's not true. College is a great experience. If you're going to college, it's got great tools. But make sure you're going for a good degree that's going to pay you a good living. Because other than that, you're better off going through a trade, being a vehicle mechanic, doing sales. Oh my gosh. Even lawyers and doctors are sales. If you don't tell everybody about your practice, the doors will be shut. You're all salesmen, right? So honestly, I wouldn't pay for my kids' college. I would make them work, and I would write them a check at the end, or maybe quarterly. I don't know. Give me some good grades, I'll pay you back. Or get a scholarship. I did. I kind of lost it. So, as in, I did lose it. I didn't take enough hours because I was selling enough cars. Anyway, back in this video. It was only tops. I don't even know what that is, but it wasn't enough to care about. Anyway. Jesus, what a rant.
That is called America right now. It is horrible out there. Do not let your kids go in debt.
Because you keep giving them a fish. All right, I'm ranty on this. I am so ranty.
You do not have to go to debt. Go to community college for free for 2 years. Go to in-state school. Work 6 jobs. Get scholarships. Our student loan problem is a parenting problem. Mom and dad let kids sign up for crap they couldn't afford.
And look, if any way, shape, or form this video is hurting your feelings, it's a little true, right? To you, but you know it's a lot true. So we have to be better so they can be better. If we keep giving them and kissing boo-boos and telling them we're sorry and hugging them because the real world kicked them in the teeth, it's going to get bad, folks. It's going to get worse than it is. And I'm just telling you, like, it needs to be teach a fish and stop giving them a fish every day. When they cry and complain, you can't give them a fish. You have to teach them or they will not be successful.
They got to have the conversations. That's where it starts. And
So-
there's a reason you say baby step 4, invest for yourself before the kids, because there's a 100% chance you're going to retire. There's a 50-50 chance or less these days that your kid's going to go to college.
And graduate.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's less than 50% chance they're going to graduate. So this is important. So while you're doing 15%, you do whatever you need to do for your kids' college, whatever you decide to do for your kids' college. Beyond that, if you can find any money, you do that on baby step 6, and that's pay off your house. Start chunking on the house. Now, when you're in 1 through 3, you are so intense, your friends are freaking.
Where's the step about buy apartments, have it make you more cash flow, way more equity, you look great on paper, and you reinvest all of it versus inflating your lifestyle? I wonder if that's in this video. Probably not. The power of leverage. Dave's over there like, "Grr."
Out. Your grandmother thinks you need counseling. You are gazelle intense like a gazelle running from a cheetah. When you're in 4 through 7, you're not intense anymore.
The people that are investing and using the power of leverage, using 20% down, are the cheetah. Especially if you are buying it for 80%, right? You're a cheetah-ing the system. I had to throw in one. I haven't done one in a while.
You are now intentional. You're just doing it on purpose. But you're no longer on beans and rice. You're on beans and rice, rice and beans. Scorched earth on 1 through 3 till you get those 3 things done. Now, get that house paid off. The average person following this stuff is paying off their home in about 7 or 8 years.
That would feel good.
That tells us that the whole program is taking about 10 years, and the average baby steps millionaire, the average everyday millionaire that we've studied, we're finding them become a millionaire from the time they start with intensity followed by intentionality, become a millionaire in about 10 and a half years.
Yeah.
11.2 years, 10.6 years.
There is something to say about being focused. And as Chris Hogan says, I don't know. I need to figure out why he's not on the show anymore. But hey, what's up, VIPs? I'm focused and not finished. I love that saying, but it's about having that laser-like focus. You getting excited about what you planned you're going to do, and you executing that plan over and over and over again because you want that carrot of excitement. When you give me a fish, I'm gonna say it again, it's like the 4th time in this video, and I eat it, I'm full. I'm happy, and I didn't have to work for it. So now I'm lazy. But when I have to go hunt for that fish, when I fillet that fish, I take my time. When I cook that fish, I make sure I cook it to perfection because I know what it took to get the fish. And then tomorrow I wake up and I go catch another fish. Well, hopefully the skills from the previous day help me catch my dinner, my breakfast, and my lunch that much faster. That's the beauty of failing. That's the beauty of learning for yourself, because then you can do anything with life's invaluable learning experiences. Let's see what else Dave has to say.
2 numbers we keep running into. So this is completely possible.
Yeah, and once you pay off that house, it's time to build wealth and give outrageously in baby step 7. That's where it ends.
Yeah, you will be a millionaire shortly after your home is paid for if you don't at that moment. And then you continue to build wealth and you raise.
Speaking of giving generously, I told you on a post, on the community post, that I was going through some stuff. I'm perfectly okay. I'll let you guys know if and when I understand what's all going on. It's not financial. You don't have to worry about that. Still taking care of business, not going bankrupt, right? Oh, great, it's going bankrupt. No, never. Well, I never say never, but never. Yeah, I'm confident in that. I do push the envelope. But yeah, so long story short, I'll tell you when I'm comfortable. I'll tell you when I know. But when it comes down to it, I will be doing the $1,000 90,000 subscriber giveaway drawing. Okay, so you still got time to go comment on that video. I will be doing that one on one of next week's reactions. So hopefully I'll see you there. Also, Dave had a great insight to this. Hopefully you saw my insight as very good as well. And that being said, that's it for the video, guys. If you enjoy videos like this, please power up that like button, hit that subscribe button, and notification bell. I will be seeing you on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 5 p.m. Central Standard Time, and I'd love to see you there. Please remember that I 100% believe in you. Even if you want to do the baby steps, if you want to get a little bit of real estate with 20% down, and I know you can do anything you set your mind to, and you should never let anyone tell you any differently. Have a fantastic afternoon, and I will see you on the next one.